Hello and welcome to Sports 5 TV. We're delighted to say we're here with Amy Williams. Amy, you've been retired from your sport for over 2 years now, but you've certainly kept busy. Can you tell us a bit about what you've been up to recently?
Yeah, it's been quite a lot going on actually. Well, it was great to have done all the BBC coverage for the Sochi Olympics. That was a kind of first really cut-off point that I really realised I was retired, I guess, being another Winter Olympics but not competing. And recently I'm with the Gadget Show now, so we've been doing lots of filming. I'm one of the new presenters on that, so that's really exciting and yeah, something new to be able to go out there in a presenting role, but also still doing challenges and some crazy stuff with them, so I can still get my little fix of extreme sport, I guess.
Sure, and there's that element, but there's also obviously the gadgets and the technology. Is that something you've always been interested in?
Well, all my friends will know that I am not the biggest technology girl, but the Gadget Show know that, and I'm kind of someone who, if I can be won over by a gadget, if I can learn about technology and pass that on in a really simple way to the next person watching, then, you know, I will go out and buy it. And it's been great that I've been able to meet different inventors, test out different inventions, do some crazy extreme sport and different technology related to sport. So it's been really interesting for me to learn that other side of life.
Well, one thing that relates to technology that you have been involved in is the Go Ultra Low campaign. Can you tell us a bit more about that and what that entails?
Yeah, I was asked to be an ambassador and to help out on the campaign, which for me was really important. I spent my life travelling around the world in aeroplanes and, you know, racking up all the miles, and so I got the opportunity to have the Nissan Leaf to drive around at home in my city of Bath, and it was great to be able to do that, knowing that you were driving, not using any emissions, not spending any money, knowing that, you know, you could drive for the whole day, you know, week after week, and really not have to put any fuel in. I didn't have to get my wallet out, plugged it in at home, charged it up overnight, and, you know, it was perfect. You know, there's so much going for the whole Nissan Leaf and the whole low emissions, to be able to go out there and really encourage people that that's the future and the way of driving now.
You've talked a bit about your involvement in television now, and I'm sure your lifestyle has changed since the days of competing. Do you still find yourself missing competing at all, or are you quite happy in yourself now and what you're doing?
I do miss competing, and the winter season's about to kick off again now. The skeleton athletes literally leave in the next few days, so there is that little part of me that does miss it. On the flip side, I still try and keep fit and healthy, and been to the gym this morning at 7 o'clock, which is probably earlier than I even went when I was competing, which is the crazy thing. So I tried to fit it in with that kind of lifestyle that I've got now, that I'm still probably as busy as ever, still travelling. Gadget Show's up in Birmingham, today I'm in London, so it's still kind of travelling around, but trying to, yeah, get excited about the next side of life and sort of shut the door in the chapter on my sporting life, but at the same time it's still very there. It's still in parallel with my life now.
Well, before we close that door, let's take a look back at that gold medal performance in Vancouver. You were the first Brit to win an individual Winter Olympic gold in 30 years. 4 years on, can you put that achievement and experience into perspective?
It's a tough one, that. Yeah, I mean, bringing home a gold, you just feel, wow, an immense amount of pride to be able to do that for Great Britain, to sort of have your name on that medal tally for, you know, the rest of history. That's quite a huge thing to be able to take in. On the flip side, it definitely encouraged the next generation to come through, and with Lizzie Arnold winning the following gold in the next Olympics in Sochi, that's been great to witness. And hopefully for winter sport, our athletes are keeping going on, and we're slowly bringing more and more medals home. So that's great for all winter sports. If you can encourage the next generation, then, you know, that's always a great thing to feel proud of doing.
Absolutely, and you mentioned Lizzie there. I think in the last 4 games we've had a female medalist in the skeleton each and every time. What do you think makes Britain so good at this sport out of all your winter sports?
Yeah, the girls have brought home medals. It's been brilliant for that to have happened, and I just think it proves that we're not traditionally maybe that kind of winter sport nation, but at the same time, you've just got to work harder than anyone else, and we spent a lot of time away from home, competing, training, putting in all those hours into the gym, and I think that really shows that extra determination does bring home the medals. So with speed skating, bobsleigh, curling, we are slowly bringing them home.
Well, skeleton's not a sport that all of us would be brave enough to try. When you first gave it a try yourself, can you describe it? Was there an element of fear, or was it straight away you fell in love with it?
No, I think I cried after my first time down a skeleton track. I went down Lillehammer in Norway, which is quite a tough track anyway. You start from halfway, so it's like anything, driving a car, you don't start off on the motorway, you start on a little lane, and it's kind of that same feeling. And then it becomes an addiction, because you want to go down and hit less walls. You want to come down, a little bit quicker, or beat the girl next to you. And that kind of slow addiction happens, probably like any sport. You just want to push yourself, and until you feel you've reached your limit, you're not going to stop.
And just finally, Amy, can I ask you, what advice would you give to any young person that wants to get into winter sports in Britain?
Oh, crikey, my advice. That's probably too much that I could probably chat on about, but really it's that hard work, determination. You've got to do so much more work, and the training that kind of goes unnoticed to anyone else is the stuff that counts. Otherwise, just really that kind of healthy lifestyle, they're getting enough sleep. There's a lot of travelling in winter sports, so really looking after yourself, your body, sleeping and eating well, which means that you can then train as well as you want, especially when you're in cold environments. Get used to being away from home. I used to take my DVDs with me, my books with me, computer with me, and just really create your own lifestyle away from home that you're happy with.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.